should England and Wales basically and follow Northern Ireland in having an old people's commissioner? I'm asking. I don't know why I looked naturally. I do apologise.
Thanks very much.
I do apologise, everybody, because I'm saying basically, should England follow Wales and Northern Ireland to have this old people's commission? And then, if you're listening, not watching, I naturally, instinctively turn to Nigel Nelson. I'm asking this because 1 in 3 people in the UK say that they've experienced age prejudice. Is ageism, because, you know, you can't discriminate against anyone in this day and age, rightly so, by the way, but it does seem that you can still get away with being prejudiced towards people based on age.
Yeah, and I think COVID did that. People felt they were free to speak out, especially those who actually objected to lockdown. So the argument was it tended to be people in their 80s who would be seriously ill from COVID, who would die from COVID. Why did the rest of the country then therefore have to go into lockdown? It's been that kind of argument all the way through, some of which came from Boris Johnson, we can see from the evidence that was given to the inquiry. So I think that has actually created some ageism. There's some language around it. I think that at the Equalities Select Committee, one example is we accuse old people of bed blocking. Well, they don't want to be in a bed. Bed blocking is a pejorative term. They are trapped in hospital. They're bed, you know, if anything, that they are bed trappers. So it's things like that. There is a language that people use in a bit of a cavalier fashion. So yes, it is going on, but COVID seems to have made it worse.
Do you agree with that, Lord Moylan?
No, I don't. First of all, I don't agree with yet another commissioner. We have far too many commissioners for particular segments of society, they're just jobs worths. They don't actually achieve anything. We have commissioners for the victims, we have commissioners for young people, we have all sorts of things. Let's get rid of all these commissioners and remember that we're one nation and not just a bunch of segmented particular interests. That's the first thing. But my own experience of age prejudice is I actually love it as I get older. I've found all sorts of things are happening that didn't happen when I was young.
Oh, like what?
Well, one of them is I've discovered that if you drop something on the floor and you're a certain age, you don't have to pick it up. You just have to stand for a moment looking a bit confused and somebody comes and picks it up for you. It's absolutely marvellous.
The bit I don't
like is the fact that when I was young, my mother would have died of shame if we as children hadn't gotten up to give up our seat on the bus to an adult. And now, of course, all these little darlings in their cosseted cotton wool are all ranged up on the seats while the parents stand there like sort of domestic house slaves trying to make sure they don't fall over. For God's sake, toddlers are designed to fall over. That's what that's how they learn not to fall over and how they get balance. So I would actually, that's the thing that does worry me, but there's a lot to be said. And I've learnt in the House of Lords, where we have a number of really splendid, very sharp nonagenarians, they're over 90, that if you can get to 90, this is my ambition, if you can get to 90 with your brains and your bits intact, then it is absolutely the best time of your life, because everyone goes round behind your back saying, do you know, she's 90, she's 92, you know, isn't she marvellous? And they all think you're marvellous, you're wonderful. You don't have to make any effort at all. I like that sort of ageism. But I'll tell you one thing, if I may just go on very quickly. One thing I don't think Nigel's right, particularly about COVID. What has grown up in this country, and it well precedes COVID, is that there's a bunch of young people who feel somehow that they've been robbed by old people, and that old people are being treated better because they were able to get on the housing ladder, and because their pensions, though the state pension is pathetically low, nonetheless the pension is protected, and those people are... and those young people have used a lot of rhetoric against older people, which I think is regrettable.
You know, I wonder as well, perhaps it's not even just an age thing, is chivalry dead? Like you mentioned about, you know, you used to stand up if someone was a bit older, give them your seat. I'm not sure if it's that people don't respect older people, or if it's just that literally that whole notion and concept of chivalry is dead. I was going out of a cafe yesterday. This is etched on my mind. I'm not bitter or anything. I had a push bike, my child's push bike, a helmet, some envelopes, some stamps, a pack of 4 muffins, a coffee, and my phone. And I tried to open the door. I dropped pretty much everything. Do you know how many people rushed to help me? How many?
Zero?
Zero.
Yeah,
Zero.
well, first of all, it
What's
says
gone
you
wrong in
should buy a
society?
decent shopping bag so you can put things in a bag, and it only costs 10 pence. And secondly, of course, you're not old enough, Michelle. You're ever young.
Well, like the issue with carrier bags and all the rest of it, I'm too tight, I've got to confess. They used to be about 5p, I swear. They've gone up to about 30p now, so I make it my mission when I go shopping to stick items in every single orifice that I've got rather than pay 30p, I can tell you.